this came up this morning, and I'm like, dude, because I've got a lot going on right now, and I wanted to share with you, like, firsthand how I accomplish things, how I handle heavy emotions, how I handle things, and just continue to keep going. Like, is that something that you desire? Yes or no? You can just say it to yourself. Do you desire to have things kind of blowing up in the background, life going on? It could be 2020, it could be Christmas, it could be kids getting in and out of school, mom going in and out of the hospital, but you're still on track. You can still make progress. I think that's something that all women want, right? And the only reason we're not where we want to be is simply what's going on here. That's what we address in Hot Moms in the Mastermind. Show you exactly how to reprogram your mind, and we heal a lot of trauma in the process. So, typically, what happens is we complicate things when we get scared. So, have you ever noticed when you're up against a new edge and you're about to do something really scary? It could be booking a call with me, paying to work with me, um, interviewing for a job, stepping down from a job, starting your own side business, having a baby, getting a divorce, getting married, anything. When we get scared, we tend to act out of fear to avoid pain, and we make decisions out of fear. And what do you think that gets us? What do you think the outcome of making decisions out of fear gets us? More fear, more things to validate that, see, I was right. See, it's a shit show. See, I can't do this. See, things are just harder for me. See, I can't do this with kids, or this is, and there's so much on my plate, and there's so much da da da. So, what needs to be done is we have to find a way to conjure courage, eat crow, whatever you want to call it. And something for me that I've shared with my mastermind students is this. Like this morning, I had a client, or not a client, she had enrolled into Hot Moms months ago. And right now, because we did a training last night that was really, really deep and powerful about what's going on right now in this portal. And I'll explain what I'm talking about. So the next 6 weeks, there's an opening, and it's happened since the beginning of October, like ending of September, beginning of October. We've all had a chance to address our deepest fear. And maybe that fear is loss of purpose, like we don't feel like we know what we want. Maybe it's getting triggered by the things we know we need to be doing and listening to, but we like, who the fuck are they? The fuck do they know? I can't listen to them. You know, we've had a chance from October, and for about 5 more weeks actually, to address these things that are bubbling up. And they're coming out as overwhelm, waiting for things to die down, waiting for the perfect time, getting caught in a comparison trap, um, just undesirable feelings, feeling like we fucked up, feeling like we are not good enough, feeling like we better do this or else, that we better do this or da 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 da. You know what I mean? I better save money because we may not have any. I mean, if you just watch the news, they tell you, like, oh my God, the world's ending. Even in 2020, the worst, the economy crash, I made more money than I've ever made. And I've got that whole story somewhere in Hot Moms. I'm just saying all this to bridge the reason why things can seem so chaotic and shitty, and things are blowing up, and there's nightmares that are resurfacing, and there's fear, and there's self-doubt, and there's not enough time, is the trauma, and are the old, all the shit that has, it keeps us stuck. It keeps us in that cycle. I was looking at a picture of last year of Disney. I took the kids to Disney. It was the first time we've ever done that. And looking back, I think we had just crossed 300,000 for the year. But I was still like scared if we were going to hit our numbers, you know? And I looked back at that, and I'm like, look, Skip, I'm done with that. Like, I'm so done with that energy, this energy of, is it going to be okay? And I want to share with you like a couple hacks that I've done over the past year to triple my, not triple, double my income. almost over double my income. And actually, the energy that I did it in was more of a throughout the year. Now, there have been peaks of holy, what the fuck? Here it is again. The big bad monster is in my closet. But for the most part, the energy shift was more supported and trusting a little more and choosing for things to be easy, just unbothered. Unbothered. Because I was just unavailable for the bullshit. I was unavailable for the 2020. I was unavailable for an unhappy client that's triggered, that wants to call me names and say that what I do is this, and that, because I know I'm good enough. Same thing with you. It doesn't matter. It shouldn't matter what they say about you, what they think about you. Are you good? And so that's the thing, unfortunately, is when we have these things pop up, if we have doubt anywhere in us, anywhere in our energy field, it can take us down, because that energy is sticky. And if we've got an open wound from somewhere, from betrayal, maybe where we feel like we've lost our ground when it wasn't safe to trust the adults around us. It wasn't safe to trust money. It wasn't safe to trust ourselves because we may fuck it up. All this bad shit happens. So that's kind of what I want to shed light on in the next 3 days. I want to give you like what's been going on with me this year. How was I, looking back at the Disney photo last year and barely making 300K, and it was stressful. How was I able to double my income with way more shit going on? Way more shit going on. Like I've stepped into the energy of like 7 figures, and it's just mind blowing to me, because I came from nothing. Like the tax lady literally sat down and she goes, "Honey, you don't have anything to report." Nothing. Like negative. My available, if you've done money codes, my course on money, my available, my minimum was like negative. No shame now, right? So that's kind of where I come from, and I want to share with you like my mindset throughout in 3 days, if we can do that. And I'm not holding back either. I told everybody, I'm like, this is like a step up from Resilient as Fuck. I have a course called Resilient as Fuck. This is a step up. So if it doesn't make any fucking sense to you, that's okay. Watch it again next year. Watch it again the following year. And watch it 8 years from now, because it's going to make sense one day. It's like watching the Disney movies and Family Guy and all those shit, and then as a kid, and then when you get older, you're like, dude, it's totally like has subliminal messages in there. So if it doesn't make sense now, pray for understanding. Pray that your channel gets opened, and whatever higher source you believe in, that God can speak through you, speak to you, can hear better. All you have to do is ask. Okay? That's what working with me is like. I help you open your heart, which can be very scary, because in our hearts we hold all the things that have hurt us in the past, the people that we weren't able to trust, the money that was taken from us, the situations that ripped the rug out from under us. All those things are stored, unfortunately, in our hearts. And we try to live a life that protects us from getting hurt again. And unfortunately, all that does is continue to block our blessings. So, Casey, how do you open your heart? Well, see, I have this course in Hot Moms and Energy Codes that helps with that. But ultimately, it's kind of what we're doing here. So the more you start just learning more about yourself and your emotional body, you'll get there, okay? And it's going to be scary. It's going to feel uncomfortable. You may get very triggered because you thought something about me that turns out wasn't true. It's going to show up in all different ways, okay? Just be ready. So once again, we complicate things when we get scared. When I get scared, I go into reactive mode. I get in my trauma response, and I try to find safety. And unfortunately, when you do that out of a space of fear, you're going to attract more things that will give you something to be fucking scared about. And until you're ready to really get out of that cycle of fight or flight, you're just going to remain in it. And to get out of that cycle, for me, just takes courage. It takes courage, and it takes the second you feel validated and heard, and like somebody understands you, that's really important. That's like the first step. Find somebody or something that makes you feel like, wow, that makes a lot of fucking sense. Wow, that's exactly, that sound makes a lot of sense. Something like that. So anyway, imagine that, and there's this girl, Melanie, that says it's like being in a cornfield, with tall corn, and you're terrified of the crows coming and like pecking your head, so you're gonna crawl through the corn maze. And unfortunately, crawling on your hands and knees in a corn maze, you're gonna be there for like, 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months. It's gonna be, you're gonna get wet, you're gonna get cold, like depending on the climate of where the cornfield's at. It's gonna be bad. But you're only doing that because you're scared of the crows that could come down and peck your head. And then some people are like, you know what? Fuck, man. I'm going to risk it for the biscuit. I'm just going to stand the fuck up. If the crows want to come in and like peck my head, I'm going to eventually learn like how they peck and then like do like this when they come down. Or I'll do something where I can like shoo them away and they won't even come. I'll get through this motherfucking corn phase and like corn maze in like a day. So my question to you is, which one have you been doing? Or have you been on your hands and knees trying to avoid pain and avoid feeling up against the wall? Or have you just been like braving it and standing up and going through the cornfield? Okay. So that's something to ask yourself. You can do it now. You can do it on your own, in your own quiet time. And look, if you've been crawling on your hands and knees, you're fucking human. We all do that. That's totally normal. It is not normal to be brave, actually. It's just not normal to be brave when you've been hurt and you've had so many shortcomings and things like that. You just have to go. Go is like keeping your heart open, like the movie Brave. Heart open, and can you hold both energies? Like this morning with the lady that flipped out. I mean, honestly, I work with broken women when they come into Hot Moms and they leave. Most of them that don't quit, like this lady did, which was like nobody's ever done this in the 2 years. Nobody has ever done this. Mm-mm. So unless, yeah. So anyway, like let's just say that happened this morning. Can I hold that if it means I'm going to get 100 more people that are already like the Hot Moms now that have mind-blowing life transformations where they get healthy, they lose weight without even working out, they heal generational trauma, they step into their purpose, and they become better parents and have better relationships? Oh my God. Yeah, I can. But when you don't know, when you're just like taking fucking hits through life and you're just taking fucking hits and you don't even know you can stand up, it's like being in water. And I did this when I was drunk, actually, in a lake, where you don't know that the bottom's right there and you're tripping your balls off and all you gotta do is stand up. Yeah, that's what it's like. So, but that's how trauma works, man. That's why I talk about like trauma-informed approach with Hot Moms. Like the reason that we struggle is the trauma stuff. And unfortunately, being a woman, there's so much about us that we don't even understand. It's part of like who we are, and then our trauma sprinkled in there. It's like a shit show. So if you really want to be unbothered, you have to do a couple things. You have to, right when the shit starts going, you have to first be aware of it. Like, oh hell, you have to have these like indicators of alert, alert, your gas is running out. You need that for yourself. You need something that says, uh-oh, I haven't eaten right. I'm off track with my eating, like, and it's been a day. Something's going on, and you get down to the drawing board, and you write out, like, what's been going on, and you'll find out, like, oh my God, this was after we had a fight. This was after I signed up with that coach. This was after me and my husband had a fight. This was after my best friend said she lost her baby. Wow. And so you have to first be aware of when you start to slip, like what caused you to slip, so you can be aware of it, because really you're just sabotaging yourself because you're operating from a place of fear. So once you're aware of it, then you have to take full responsibility. And how do you want it to go? Right? Just decide how it gets to go for you. Right? And then the homework's going to really help lock this in. But you have to just decide, like, fuck it. Like when I decided that I wasn't going to have any credit card stuff left over at the end of the month, I didn't know how the money was going to come. I didn't know how I was going to pay it off. I didn't know how, but that was not my job. My job was to be a match for the way it would feel for overflow. Because, by the way, like how you pay off debt is not saving money. You could. That's just one way to do it. But Wouldn't you want to know another way where you could still like have fun and spend a lot of money and buy a lot of shit and make a lot of money and still pay off your debt? Yeah, that's the feminine way. That's both, right? So I played with the energy, the feminine energy of choosing instead of I have to go in or out. I have to be all in on working out or not. I have to be all in on this or not. Instead of I can just do both. I can have kids and build a 7-figure business and do this and still have a good body. I can do both. So you decide how it gets to be and you become unavailable for what it is that you don't desire. Okay? And then you just show up accordingly. Also, take an emotion out of things. What needs to be done? What's that 1 or 2 things that needs to be done to move the needle? What are the 1 or 2 things? Only you know that. I don't know that. So if you want to succeed in life and business and health or whatever, you have to invest in you. Invest does not mean money all the time. Just like being a provider, if you're a man, does not mean financial. It could be providing shelter, safety, emotional support, orgasm giver. It does not mean financial. So you have to invest in you first. And unfortunately, a lot of women don't because they feel guilty or they feel like the ball's going to drop in another area. That's just a trauma response. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, we'll try to link a video or share the video that goes with it. It's like a 7-minute video that talks about the trauma cycle. Like saying that I just need to wait till things die down. That's actually the last phase of a trauma cycle before you hit your next trigger. See, something always happens. And so that's what we help women do in Hot Moms, is to break the cycle of trauma so that you can experience triggers and stay focused. And almost like you're unbothered. It's not that you ignore it. It's not that you stuff it down. It's because you know yourself so well and you understand energy and you just know yourself so well. You reclaim your center. You call back in pieces of you that were thrown out when things got hard. You call them back into yourself and then you're whole. It's weird. It's crazy, right? Hang with me though. It'll make more sense on day 2 and 3. So me investing in myself and time. Now, I did pay coaches. I did. I'm not going to lie and say I didn't. I love coaches. I think I'll pay for them till I die. It's kind of fun. I love to learn, but I invested in coaches. I invested in software. I invested in things. I invested in time, myself with time. I took more time for me. I took more baths. I took more time at night versus I didn't watch TV hardly any this year. When I watch TV, it's usually movies with the kids. I just didn't really watch TV a lot this year. I did more writing because I got to know myself a little more. And the more I got to know myself, y'all, I doubled my income. Almost more than doubled it. And I took more time for myself. Like, what the fuck? This happens all the time. And it's not like I sat back and didn't do anything. People that would watch me would say, Casey is always doing something. But it feels completely different versus when I was actually working all the time in 2014. And I almost put myself in the hospital with shingles over stress. And I almost got divorced. Okay. So here's actually the fastest magic. Who wants to know the fastest magic? Acceptance and detachment, which is the hardest thing to do. Now, I feel like you can do both. I feel like you can maintain like a hold and hold the energy of that you want and that you desire and vibe with that and play with it and stroke it and pet it. This Tommy Boy reference. Massage it. And you can also detach from it. Yeah, I think you can do both. There's 2 realities, 100%. So acceptance of where we're at right now is how we shift and make things happen even faster. When we resist and just put things off, give in to the chaos and the fear, because chaos is fear. If you feel like you don't have enough time, you're just in a trauma response. That's it. So something's being recreated in your body now that happened a long time ago, and you just did not even know. You don't even know what's going on. It's like disassociation. That's why you don't know what's going on. So accepting like where you're at right now and just coming to truth with that, whether it's with your body, with your business, with your money, with your relationships, with your whatever. Just accept it. You know, it's like when I tell my kids one time, I think it was when he got hurt or something was going on and with a tooth or something. And I was like, we're going to get you medicine, but can we just welcome the pain? Like, let's just sit with it. Be okay with it. Stop trying to fight the pain. It's here. It's now. Because, you know, when we resist it, it's almost like it hurts worse. Tell me when, tell me when, tell me, you know what I mean? So how can we accept that we're here right now and we feel the way we feel right now? Can we hold that? Can you hold it? Can you hold it? What if I told you that if you could just hold where you're at right now, that there is an equal opposite of the up? Because there is. But Casey, how? Well, what would you imagine being in the opposite place of where you're at right now? What would you imagine you would be thinking and feeling like? You can put it in the comments. And you show up that way. And you show up that way. That's it. Even if it's a small smidgen and you can't feel into it, well, what's something that you can feel that's just a little bit better? That's it. And it may take time. You may have so much resistance like I used to. I couldn't even sit alone to do any of this at one point in time because I had so much trauma. But what if it was fully safe to trust that you could sit and write? So I think what I'm doing is inviting you to get to know yourself. I'm inviting you to get to know yourself a little bit better. Because the problem is you don't know who you are. You don't know who you are. Because if you did, you'd already be where you wanted to be. Same goes for me. Same goes for anybody and everybody. It's figuring out who we are. It's not figuring out how to do the things. It's figuring out who we are. And when we love the fuck out of ourselves and we sit with ourselves and we spend time with ourselves and we invest in ourselves because our humans matter, right? Because we got a spiritual body, an emotional body, physical body. Our humans are the physical body. It's like the Trinity, right? So we have to take care of our humans because it's the filter. It's the grand filter from the thing that flows through it. So we have to take care of that. And if we don't, and we slip up from time to time, that's okay. I tell my clients this, the channel's still the channel, right? So I invite you to invest in yourself with time. Sit your ass in a chair, close the door, and do this homework. Now, the homework looks like this. I'm going to read the questions to you, and I'll post it. I'll actually post real quick. Well, let me post it after I read it. So the first thing is, if you allowed yourself to do what you want to do, what would you do? If you allowed yourself to do what you want to do, what would you do? And how would that feel? You write it out, and you feel it. You hand on your heart, and you feel it. So let's also call out every story around why you believe that you can't make things happen. So what are the stories in your head right now that says you can't have the thing that you want? List it out. Just bullet point 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't care. List it out. If you want to even take it a step further, post it in the group, and let's, like, the energy of working together with another person. That's the power of a mastermind. Okay? There's no room for shame here. We're all trying to become better people. Right? So call out every story around the things that make you feel like you can't have something, or like you can't make things happen. Okay? Now, all those stories that you wrote out, none of those are true. They never are. Anything that doesn't feel really good and powerful and inspired and like love and safe and confident and certain, usually are a lie. It's not true. We go deeper into this in Hot Moms and in the courses. And I will be posting my Black Friday stuff that we've got a few in there, I think, that's going to help with what we're talking about. So where does it feel scary to trust the process? Where does it feel scary? You feel stupid? You feel like you're going to mess it up? What is it? And do you believe it's wrong to receive what you want without the struggle deep down? It's just like with money. It's just like with fitness and health. If you haven't done Drop the Motherfucking Weight Loss Struggle, you need to do it in money codes. The reason that you don't have the money, we don't have the body or whatever. It's we don't feel safe to have it. There's something that's like, okay, well, if I have it, like back in the day, I was like, dude, if I hit this money goal, if my business grows here, I've got this many clients, it means it's going to be more of a headache. We're going to need more customer service. We're going to have more angry clients. We're going to have like all this shit. Like what? And then I learned this right here. Like, okay, well, can I hold the energy of the shit? Because that's going to be there if I'm going to be the person that I'm going to be. Yeah, absolutely. And that's when things started happening. So, what would it feel like if you let your life, health, business, etc. be easy? What would it feel like if you let your life be easy? Health, if getting healthy, if losing the weight, what if that was easy? Making the money, whatever it is that you're trying to do. What would it feel like if it were easy? What if it were already easier? And what if the things that felt really bad were not true at all? Then what? What if you were already there? What if the thing you wanted ain't shit? I remember when I wanted to hit 60K months, I was fucking tripping. I was like, y'all, that's like what I wanted to make in a year. There's this block here. And a girl in a mastermind, because I put it out there, because they're like all women like me, da da da. That's what Hot Moms is like. That's what this group's going to be like. And she goes, yeah, I had some blocks around a number, and I just made it no big deal and shot over. And that's what I did. I was like, okay, 60 felt scary, and I just shot over, and it was like 70. Okay, perfect. So that's my question. So what if it were already easier? Okay. Also, this is you, if I could be, say, or do whatever I wanted in the gym, at work, in life, and everyone loved it, loved me, it was safe to do it, have it, be it, and everybody supported me, and the universe supported me, what would I be doing right now? What things are you doing in your life that you don't want to be doing right now? What can be delegated? What can be eliminated? Okay. Like I said, you can always ask to be guided. You can always pray. You're never alone. You can always ask, and then you're going to coach yourself through the writing. So, what things are you doing right now that you don't like or you don't want to do? What can be delegated? What are some solutions on the other side of the paper? What are some solutions that you would give someone? Or if you imagine, well, I don't know, Casey. Okay, well, what do you think I would say? What would Casey say to do about this thing that I don't like or want? Feel the feelings in your body of having everything in your world support you so that you can reach the next level. That's one thing that I even need to get, like I do it a little bit, but not as long. I do more writing right now, but feeling the feelings in my body of so much support, so much trust, just what that would feel like in every cell of my body. It's incredible. Watch what happens when you do this. So feel the feelings in your body of loving your body, feeling healthy, and just loving your job, earning money, being so happy, being a good mom, or whatever it is, being a good dad. Feel the feelings, right? That's the how. Feel the feelings. Take action according to how you feel, right? Because it's when we feel scared, when we want to avoid pain, is when we eat when we shouldn't eat. We eat what we shouldn't eat. We drink when we really need to cry. We smoke when we really need to cry and ask for help. We don't go work out because we're worried about who knows what. You know what I'm saying? So that's the homework. I'm going to put it in here, and that's day 1. Okay? We'll do day 2 and day 3 the next 2 days. So let me make sure I've got this here. And then any questions, just ask them, and I'm going to answer. Philippines, you might have the people connect. Okay. All right. I'm going to post the questions here. Let me go here. 1 second. Am I in the right group? Am I in the right group? I don't even know what group that. Oh, this is good. What's up, Christina? Casey, what if you don't know how it could be? I don't know what to do if I could do anything, since I've always been told since high school what my future was. This is very normal. Skip has this as well. So, okay. So, Case, here's what you do. I want you to go back when I was saying about the awareness. Like, I want you to start noticing the stories that come up. Like, When you go to think about what you want to do and there's nothing there, okay, well, what about when you're working out? What about when you're just in la la land, you're driving, you're in your life, you're doing whatever? What are some thoughts, some disbelief kind of thoughts, like I'll never do this, or I'm not like her, or I'm too stupid, or like what are your limiting beliefs? I'm too old, I'm too sick, I'm too weak, I'm too whatever. What are your stories, right? And then you say, right when they come up, that's the thing I was talking about in the earlier part of the training, like the awareness of these limiting beliefs. When they come up, notice them. Be like, oh, there they are, there they are. Oh, what the fuck was that? There they are, there they are. And then say, okay, here it is. You write it out. You got your notebook. You almost like, write it out. The story is I'm too fat, or I'm too ugly, or I'll never amount to nothing, or whatever your belief is that is coming up. And you say, okay, what if that wasn't true? Then what? Well, then I would probably be driving this, or living there, or going to the gym, or wearing these clothes, or putting my kid in this. Okay, then, so that's one. And then if the next thing that comes up, well, what if that weren't true? Then what? Well, I'd probably be cooking right now, or I'd probably be decorating right now. I'd probably be resting right now. You know what I'm saying? So that's how you find out what you really want. Is you have to become aware of, and look, if you're not there yet, please, I told a girl this today. I said, the good news, Crystal, is that Hot Moms is lifetime. Hot Moms Mastermind, you get lifetime access, right? Even the courses. I said, if you don't get it right now, and it may take you 4 years, it may take you 5 or 10 years. Guess what? I've had clients for almost 10 years, since 2012, 2011. Yeah. Hot Moms is lifetime. So if you don't get it right now, your soul hears it. So just try, keep learning about yourself. Continue to learn and lean into the things that don't feel really good. Continue to look at what's not going on in your life that's like, fuck, man, can't goddamn catch a break. Write it out. What is it? What's there? What can you not catch a break for? What does it feel like? Do you feel like a victim? Do you feel powerless? Do you feel stupid? Where did that come from? Wonder where that idea even comes from. What if it weren't true? Then what? What feels like a better truth for you? Something that you'd always wanted. There you go. If it feels too good to be true, it's because it's what we deserve. So some of us are really tired. Some of us are just fucking tired. I can't tell you how many women I talk to. I'm like, babe, you don't have, like, you're good. I know you feel like all is going wrong and you've got autoimmune and your kids are this and you're that and you're fat and you feel all this shit. But I'm telling you right now, first, you're tired. And then she sighs and she starts crying. You know, some of y'all are tired. You're tired of fighting. You've had to fight your whole life. Color Purple, the movie. Like, you're just tired of fighting. And it's going to happen one day. Y'all, it took me 12 years to reconnect with a part of me, my inner child, that had split, that caused me to fight my whole life. It took me 12 motherfucking years. 12 fucking years. So if things don't happen for you right away, can you go back and do the acceptance thing I talked about and take these little steps? I would give anything if I had access to this type of work 10 years ago. Fuck. So find these things and things like Hot Moms and the courses, and go at your pace, man. Go push yourself, catch yourself when you've just kind of been complacent, kind of wanting the next level. Catch yourself. Make sure you're constantly pushing yourself to a new edge to find your new edge. What's you want to kind of just constantly be pushing that comfort zone. For me, it's with money. I'm like, okay, well, let me see if I can pay a coach $5,000. Shit, that's scary. Got over that, and it was like 18 grand, 7 grand, 18 grand, fuck, 36,000. And it's 100,000. And because of that, I've been so willing to just get up against a new edge, because I know my mindset's changed so much where I couldn't have held this, by the way, 10 years ago, 5 years ago. I couldn't have held this amount of stuff. So you really, depending on your trauma and your nervous system, if things feel like it's really overwhelming for you and really fucking petrifying, You need some help. You need to really, that's why I say you need to really reach out to us and say, I'm fucking scared shitless to buy this course. I'm scared shitless to get the new job. Like, what the fuck do I do? Where is this coming from? And then we help you figure out that emotional block. So really, it's just continuing to learn more and more about your human. Learn more and more. Your body is kept score, okay? Your body takes note of every little thing that scares you, that tells you that it's not safe, and it kind of jumbles some shit up and causes you not to hear and see things the way they actually are. Just prime example, the lady this morning, if you look at her application, it says, I've got this, which pushes people away, and I always feel like people don't love me. Her very thing was, she felt like I answered her in a certain way that, where I answered her in a certain way that felt like she wasn't important or something. When that's her trigger. She does things to feel hurt, and then she abandons ship and she's all alone. Right? And then she gets in a vulnerable state, wanting to seek safety again, and attracts toxic people. You know, in Hot Moms we teach about triggers, and hey, when you feel triggered, when you feel like, Casey cusses a lot, and I don't feel comfortable with that, okay? But I really want to hear what she has to say. I know that my soul feels that in my heart, and my life has changed so much. How can I get past this? We'll help you, right? You have to reach out and say, dude, I am so fucking like triggered because of this, and that, and I know it's got to be a trigger because it feels so off. Like, any ideas? Right? Don't do it in the free group, but in some of the paid groups, right? Because these people understand. Free group, nobody does personal growth really. So everybody's kind of projecting out their own, the way they hear and see things because of their past hurts and trauma. I mean, think about it. Why don't we just go buy another a lot of people say, well, this is just going to be one more program. Oh, really? Because you failed fucking Weight Watchers? Did Weight Watchers have any mindset in emotional clearing and trauma healing? No. But because we failed that, we're now attaching this to that. Do you see what I'm saying? That's trauma, man. It'll fuck you up, man. You'll spend your whole life just living like there's never enough. You'll spend your whole life feeling like there's never enough time. You're always going around and around in circles. You're always confused. You always feel like you get the shit end of the deal, that you got too much on your plate. That trauma, man, it'll fuck you up. So can you hold all your shit? Can you hold it right here and still take action in the aligned direction of what you really want to be doing? Yeah. And you do that, and you're going to fall sometime. You're going to get back up, because you don't view failure anymore as like failure. You view it as motherfuck. Okay. So how can I turn this into gold? Where's the opportunity here? Thank you. This is showing me where there's some kind of hole in the system. That's how I do it. That's how I look at everything now. Like, okay, fuck. Well, I guess there's something to transmute here, and this is going to be a huge opportunity for growth for me. So, there's that. Okay, she said, gotcha. I'll work on this afternoon. I've got a lot to journal on. Thank you so much for explaining it. You're welcome. And we will put right here. What's up, Mary? So I'm going to put in the homework right there. And I'm going to put it right here. Well, I can't. I've got to sign off. So what I'll do, let me check Zoom. We've got Amy. Okay, chat. I would be more confident, less conscious, self-conscious. Hell yeah. Totally. You know, and getting in that energy of, if you were confident, then what? Like, what would you do today? What would you do right now, today, tomorrow, tonight? Like, what would you imagine doing if you were more confident? And you just show up in that energy. That's it. It's not faking it till you make it. This is how you feel things into existence. And then when something comes up that pops your bubble or says, see, I told you you're a piece of shit, you're like, okay, I see you. I see you. And you learn from it. What is this trying to show me? We're going to repeat our lessons until we get it. We're going to repeat the same shit until we finally get it. And for me, this past year, it has been not doing things out of lack, not doing things out of scarcity, choosing to let things be easy. And then now it is saying, I'm just going to tell myself that it's safe to trust. Because, yeah, I'm tired of having amazing things and still not feeling the match, right? Because I've done a lot of things that felt the way it should. But when something doesn't feel the way it should, just like when I was a fitness model, you know, when I was like on the covers and shit, and I still look good. I mean, I ain't saying I don't look good, but when I was there, like on stage and all this shit, it felt miserable. It was not a fucking, it did not feel glamorous and like, absolutely not. I'm not here for that. I want more joy. I want more happy, and everything that comes with it. And you deserve it. I deserve it. We all deserve it. And the only reason we're not there is because there's so much fucking trauma. And we have to learn how to address our mindset and detach from who we are spiritually, that is like infinite and intelligent and knows everything, and then our human selves that have been brainwashed with our programming, our religious beliefs growing up, our parents' shit, unhealed shit, our shortcomings, and we took it and said we're not good enough and I'm less than, and our masculine wounds and our feminine wounds. We've got to clean those up. Got to clean those up. That's where it started for me. So I want you to do this homework. I want you to let us know what comes up. And I'll see y'all tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern, for day 2. And then we'll do one more day and then do like one big Q&A if there's enough questions. Okay? Awesome. Let me make sure there's no more comments. No more comments. She said, Casey, trauma sucks. I didn't realize I had any until learning from you and now addressing it head on. Yeah. Yeah, you're crushing it, dude, Casey. And we grew up, there were so many similarities, I feel. Yeah. Most women have no idea what trauma is. They have no idea. They think that it's like getting raped. And I'm like, no, there's so much more. So much more. So, all right, y'all, it's been real. I'm going to go finish decorating the tree. I'm so excited to see what comes up with the journaling. I'm excited to journal myself too. So please invest in yourself, with time. You're worth it. And watch what happens. And then invest in yourself with money, time, and look at people also as a currency. Okay? That's going to come later. Okay. Talk to you soon, Miranda. Hey, y'all. All right. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye. See you, Amy. Oh, oops. My bad.